Republicans are calling to delay Wednesday's electoral vote count. State senators in Georgia say they want more time to investigate election fraud allegations.
At a campaign event in Georgia, Mike Pence addressed the coming joint session in Congress. He promised it would be a chance to hear the evidence of election fraud.
You know, I know we all got our doubts about the last election. And I want to assure you, I share the concerns of millions of Americans about voting irregularities. And I promise you, come this Wednesday, we'll have our day in Congress.
But a group of Republican senators in Georgia want to postpone the counting of electoral votes. At least a dozen have signed a letter directed to the vice president asking him for an official delay, and more senators might join. Senator Brendan Beach told the Epoch Times they want a delay of 10 to 12 days. They planned to pass the letter to Pence on Tuesday, a day ahead of the vote count. Beach says they called for the delay so they have more time to investigate and scan ballots. The senator said he also wrote an individual letter to Pence as a member of the state's Judiciary Subcommittee. Beach suggested senators from other states were doing the same. Beach also said he has been inundated with calls from disenfranchised voters who suspect foul play in the election. Meanwhile, senior legal advisor to the Trump campaign, Jenna Ellis, also suggested that Pence delay certifying the votes on January 6th. Speaking on Just the News television show, The Water Cooler, Ellis said, "What Mike Pence could do and what he should do, in fact, is to direct a question back to the state legislatures." She suggested Pence ask legislatures in the 6 contested states to say which candidate's slate of electors should be approved.
Speaking on Fox News Monday, Hawley said the outcome of the January 6th joint session of Congress will decide who the next president will be. He says his constituents have raised major concerns about the integrity of the election, and they're expecting him to raise those concerns when the electoral votes are counted. Congress has decided on the rules for how the Electoral College vote will be counted on January 6th.
The guidance was introduced by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. He says the chambers will meet in a joint session on January 6th, presided over by Vice President Mike Pence. As president of the Senate, Vice President Pence will open all the certificates and papers purporting to be certificates of electoral votes. 7 states sent alternate electors and certificates, meaning the state has certificates for both Joe Biden and President Trump. The certificates and papers will be opened, presented, and acted upon in alphabetical order, starting with Alabama. At this point, at least 12 Republican senators and over 50 representatives will object to some of the certificates due to election irregularities and allegations of fraud. That would trigger a withdrawal from the joint session, leading to a 2-hour debate followed by votes in each chamber. A challenge would go through if there is a majority vote from both the House and the Senate. But even supporters find the scenario unlikely, since Democrats who control the House and Senate Republican leadership, including McConnell, have expressed disapproval with a plan to object. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said in a letter to her colleagues on Sunday that the objections could happen, but at the end of the day, Biden will be declared the next president. Some Republicans are focusing on Pence's role in the proceedings, arguing that he has the exclusive authority to decide how to deal with the dueling electors. Mike Pence's chief of staff, Mark Short, said that Vice President Pence shares the concerns of millions of Americans about voter fraud and irregularities in the last election. He said Pence welcomes the efforts to raise objections and bring forward evidence on January 6th.